And welcome into WHAS11 News at Noon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jim Stratman, and we begin today with meteorologist Matt Breland and this absolutely oppressive level of heat we've got here in Kentuckiana.
That's right, Jim. It just will not seem to go away. We have another day of these temperatures that will feel dangerous. We have those temperatures ranging into the upper 80s right now in Louisville, but notice the feels like temperature, feeling like 94 and feeling like 97. As we continue to go throughout our afternoon hours, those temperatures will keep increasing, and so will those feels like. As we head throughout the day, you can expect the temperatures to go from the upper 80s, how you're seeing right now, into the 90s. We're at 86 in Bedford, 85 Elizabethtown, 89 Shepherdsville, 88 here in Louisville. But factor in the humidity. This is what the temperature actually feels like. Feels like 100 near Seymour, 102 in Jasper, 101 for you folks near Shepherdsville. And we're going to continue to see these temperatures climb as we head throughout the rest of our afternoon time. A heat advisory in place until 8 p.m. this evening for all of Kentuckiana. And if you have plans to travel outside of Kentuckiana, maybe Cincinnati, towards Bowling Green, Evansville, Indianapolis, that heat advisory in place for those folks as well. This heat is still going to be sticking around for the next upcoming hours and into the upcoming days. Whenever we see this type of trend, it typically lasts for a while. So as we head throughout the rest of our afternoon time, you can expect still a decent amount of sunshine as we progress further on into the day, and then we'll see those skies still stay mostly sunny, just how we are seeing here on satellite and radar. A quiet picture so far with us. There are a few small chances for some isolated shower activity just as we head later into the afternoon hours. Closer into that 5 p.m. time is whenever I'm expecting us to see the potential for some of those isolated showers trying to develop. But as we go into the evening and overnight hours, you can expect mostly quiet conditions. We'll have another round of humidity to start off our Saturday morning with temperatures into the lower 80s. We'll have a full breakdown all about those details coming up here in just a few short minutes. Jim?
Thank you very much, Matt. A young man is dead after an overnight shooting in the Shelby Park neighborhood. The LMPD says shots were fired just before 9 o'clock last night on South Jackson and Camp Street. Officers found a young man with multiple gunshot wounds who died at the scene. Right now, there's still no suspects, and the LMPD is investigating. If you have any information in this case, you're asked to call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. Oldham County Police are investigating a shooting in Buckner that's killed a father and a son. Police responded to Clare Cove after midnight Thursday on a call from a young person who told dispatchers that their dad and brother were fighting. Officers say they found 47-year-old Nadim Pasha and 17-year-old Elijah Pasha shot to death. Oldham County Police did not say who shot whom, but did say there is no danger to the public. The investigation there is still ongoing. LMPD Chief Paul Humphrey walking back comments he made about the victim of a homicide. The chief joined the weekly roundtable hosted by Bishop Lyons to further apologize to Latasha White's family. Latasha White went missing from the Butchell neighborhood, last seen in April, on April 28th, by family and friends. White's family said they noticed she never showed up to work and her personal belongings were still at her home. A missing persons report for White was filed by police on May 1st, but her family says they warned Metro Police she was missing days before that. At a press conference this week, Chief Paul Humphrey pushed back against their concerns, saying it was, quote, White's behavior that ultimately placed her in the situation she ended up in. At a community event last night, he apologized, at times getting emotional.
It was one statement, it was one sentence, but it enforces and reinforces a pattern that some people have seen. And whether you like it or not, you took the job. So now you have to correct that.
Like, I'm not discounting people's frustration. I get it. I'm frustrated too. You think that just because I put on this uniform, I don't carry the history of my blackness around with me. I carry the same thing that you carry around every day on this black skin. I don't think this is frustrating for me too. I watch little black boys get killed all the time. Been picking them up my whole life since I've been an adult. Same as you have buried them. It hurts me just as much as it hurts you.
Now, White's family has pushed back on Humphrey's comments. They pushed back yesterday. In part of his explanation, the chief revealed that White was killed by her own boyfriend as the two were on their way to carry out a murder plot. Now, Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Jessica Farley have the story on the public outcry that led police to release new details in this case.
I feel like he meant it. There's no need for apology. You said what you said. You meant what you said. Just do your own investigation. There's no need to speak on an ongoing investigation. I feel like that's not your job right now.
Latasha White's stepdaughter, Shantae Young, says the family of White, this woman who was found dead in May, is offended and hurt by Louisville Metro Police Chief Paul Humphrey, who said this on Wednesday.
Latasha White's behavior placed her in the position she ultimately ended up in.
We found out via Facebook. They didn't reach out to us like they said they did. I feel like we're still grieving. We're still trying to process the stuff, and what he said was unprofessional, unethical. It was biased opinion.
White was found dead in a wooded area in the Butte neighborhood on May 7th, less than 1 week after a missing persons report was filed. Now, the chief speaking today.
I apologize, particularly to Miss White's family, for the lack of sensitivity and the lack of clarity in my words, and how that contributed to their pain.
The chief explains why he made the comment. White and her boyfriend Jamie Shelby, who is now charged and arrested in her murder, were planning their own murder plot.
Evidence shows that at the time of her murder, the two were en route together to commit another murder. She was killed using her own gun.
Humphrey says the couple's murder plot was ultimately not carried out. He says the last video of White alive is her taking down surveillance cameras at 2 a.m. at her home. Police found her phone was also turned off and left at her house.
This is often done to obscure someone's location or hide their movements.
Humphrey says that in the days leading up to April 29th, White bought several items to aid in the murder plot, including dark clothing, the same clothing she was wearing when her body was found. White's family remembering White and taking a stand against how the department handled her case.
She was a mother. She wasn't just another black woman. She didn't hurt anyone. She wasn't in the street. She had a job.
A Metro Council member, Tammy Hawkins, sent us this statement saying, quote, "I'm glad he apologized for his error," he being the chief, "in phrasing, but he needs to be more mindful about what he says publicly, as this has affected Miss White's family as well as the black community. It seems to me that he is also trying to excuse the comments he made by giving more information on the case that was not already public information." Now, after delays the first time around, crews are going to start working to repair part of Hospital Curve tonight. The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet is closing the left 3 lanes of the Kennedy Bridge to limit access to I-65. That will start tonight at 8 and reopen Monday morning at 5 a.m. Crews are replacing the expansion joints, which will hopefully help with potholes in that area. While the lanes are closed, KYTC is also putting down an epoxy surface on I-65. We've seen multiple semi-crashes right at the exit off of the Kennedy, and KYTC said that this will hopefully improve the pavement friction there. Today is the last day to apply for FEMA assistance from the April flooding in Kentucky. To apply, you need to go online to the disaster assistance website. Visit any disaster recovery center, use the FEMA mobile app, or call the helpline at the number you see on your screen. That is 800-621-3362. Remember, in order to apply, you're going to need to provide a current phone number, your address at the time of the disaster and your current one, a social security number, a general list of damages and losses, banking information if you do choose a direct deposit, and if you're insured, your policy number and the company. Anyone who has experienced damage or loss can apply until 11:59 tonight for federal disaster assistance.